right, we are live. Just check audio levels and everything. Okay, well, we'll wait a few minutes to get started, and I'm gonna make sure everything's set up properly, and then we'll jump right into it. We're gonna finish this off, and then maybe talk about what's next. Okay, looks like everything's up properly. And we've got a crew. So I think we're going to go ahead and get started. So basically, we're going to continue what we were working on yesterday, and we're going to finish this off. The plan is to completely finish this off. So I had reconstructed the MacBook Air yesterday, only to realize that I had forgotten one piece. So I'm going to have to deconstruct the motherboard, take the motherboard out, place this piece on it, and then I will be able to connect it to the display, drop in the antenna, and start covering everything up. And who knows whether this whole thing is going to work. Hopefully it does, but we will see. Feel free to hang out, to drop in the chat if you want to, or just hang out in the background, or if you are watching this after the stream, hopefully when you enjoy this, and hopefully it's good content. Hopefully I don't destroy this Mac in the process. We'll see. Okay, I'm gonna knock on wood. I don't want that to actually happen. Okay. So I've still got my T5 screwdriver on here. These are probably T3 screws. These are the motherboard screws. Oh, no, they're T5. Okay, so I'm gonna make sure and start removing these motherboard screws to get them out. It took me so long to find these last time around. They're right there. All right. And then we will remove this one. Is this a T3? No. Okay, also a T5. Same style. It looks to be the same style, but we'll put it aside just to make sure. Okay. Now. Oh, one more. This padded one right here. Get something a little bit more relaxing. Okay, so now I've got to lift this up. I might need to flip it back, so I actually need to take off the trackpad connectors too. I guess I could try and lift it off this way, but I would need to take off this one first to do that. This is probably T3. Yeah, it's T3. Okay, yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip the entire motherboard up like this. I'm going to put in the display connector, and then we'll lay it back down. Hopefully that'll work. Oh, those are tiny little screws. Not feeling this piece. Oh. Oh, I forgot how difficult it is to put that on. Okay. Multitasking here, please. Okay. Okay, we'll leave those for now. All right, let's see if this works. Gonna lift this up gently. Something like that. Perfect. Okay, then the goal is to get the connector down on there. I don't want to fold these cables too much that are already in there, but I don't want to have to unplug them. Okay, so this cable needs to go in there. That will allow me to put on the display cable. So let me look at the guide to make sure I'm not doing this incorrectly. Touch sensor replacement, speaker replacement, screen replacement. So it looks like the connector there. One moment. It looks like the connector there is, yeah, so it is like this. So I'm gonna need to get that connector down on the display connector. So I'm gonna have to drop this in here. I'll be very gentle here. Let's pinch in for y'all a little bit. Refocus. There we go. So yeah, gotta mount this connector right on the back here. Sorry if I'm ducking out of the shot here, just trying to be in the right position. Okay, it's not as much of a clip in as it is just sliding in. Probably gonna find this in the motherboard replacement just to make sure I can find what screws these are. All right, so when they pull out the logic board, that's still on there, but they don't tell me what screws it is. I don't know what screw is attached on either end of here, but I will find something small. And probably T3. Let's try one of these mini ones. I've got a T4 Torx screw bit, so let me swap that out. My fingers were not designed for this. It's tiny. It's just a... Watch this be a Phillips head. No, it's T3. There we go. Okay. And I knocked it off. Okay, 1 second. Okay, there we go. Doesn't feel like I'm screwing too much. Okay, that's in. Let's find another one. Just a tiny little screw I gotta work with here. Let's see if we got it this time. Unbelievable. You know what's funny? I want to say like, okay, this is how dare Apple make their screws so small, but like this laptop is actually pretty repairable. I mean, the logic board, you're kind of screwed if your logic board goes bad, but just about everything else is repairable. Obviously, you can't upgrade the SSD and memory, which is a bummer for me because I do like upgrading the SSDs on laptops. But if your screen breaks or your battery goes bad or whatever might happen, you've generally got the option to replace it. Well, option. Oh gosh, I need to focus. Okay, phew. You've got the option to replace it, but it's not the most accessible to most people, right? Like, I wouldn't expect most people to be doing a screen repair on their MacBook Airs, but definitely repair shops with a tiny bit of experience can handle it. If I can handle it, then repair shops can handle it. I say that, and the laptop's not back together yet, so maybe I'll wait till the laptop's back together to be able to say that with confidence. Okay, so that's back into place. Let's switch back to the T5 to screw down the motherboard. Okay. And as I do this, if you're hanging out, and let me know how you're doing today. Don't know what time it is for most folks. For us, it's just around midday. This is weird. I could have sworn the screw goes here. Do we have multiple different screws here? Or maybe it's just not lined up. Oh gosh. Okay, come on. Am I crazy? Oh, maybe these are different screws. I think I'm crazy. I think both. They're different screws and I'm crazy. That's why it wasn't going in. Okay. There we go. Motherboard is mostly in place. 2 more screws to go. All right. There we go. All right. So, motherboard's in place. We still need the USB-C cables in. And that's what these are going to be for. We currently are using the T5. Let's swap out to the T3 Torx screwdriver. I'm going to go ahead and position this in place. All right. Looks to be snapped down. This one's going to be the easiest one to figure out if it's not working properly. Let's go ahead. Yeah. Another tiny screw. One of hundreds, it seems. All right, that is in. All right. Now, we need to get the antenna in as well. I think, okay, we also have a cable that should go across here for the audio. Oh my gosh. Does it sit on the other side? Oh no. Oh no. Oh, it sits on the other side. Oh no. It's just like the display cable. It sits on the back side of the motherboard. Oh my gosh. I should have thought of that. Let me pull that out. So yeah, it's going to be right down there on the back side of the motherboard. So what I just did, I thought this was going to be quick, but I'm going to need to do it again. I'm going to move with a little bit of speed this time. So let's just hope I don't screw anything up in the process. Alright, there's that. And we can let's move this out of the way so I don't accidentally knife something, or myself. Okay. There we go. I only think this is going to bear so many times doing, so I don't want to do that too much. And you know what? Yeah, I'll keep these in. That's fine. I'll keep them in. All right, let's keep on removing these screws. This should be, let's move to the Torx T5. We've got 4 screws to remove. Is that one? Oh, sorry. 6 screws to remove because we also need to remove these 2 over here. 2. 3. There is 4. Pretty easy to distinguish those. But these 2 are the ones that I need to make sure I differentiate. Separate 5 and 6. Okay, and those are the motherboard screws. These like 10 screws over here. This is a duplicate. Okay, and it rolls off. Okay, now let's open this up gently, obviously. All right, and then right there, that's what I need to get to. Now, thankfully, it doesn't require any screws, so I don't need to screw this down at all. But it is going to require a bit of gentle finicking. So I'm going to, basically, here's the way it works. On this side, underneath this cover, that is the connector that we need to be slotting in. Slot it in and then clip the clip down, and then that's going to go right across the back over here. So let's start doing that. Let's make sure the clip is up to start. Sorry if my head dips into the shot here. If this doesn't work, if this isn't in properly, then I have no power button, because the power button sits obviously on the Touch ID sensor, so which sits on the audio board. So gotta get this one right. It feels pretty in there though. Put that down, lay the motherboard back down. Okay. There we go. Okay. Oh, I'm laying the motherboard back down on top of the USB-C port connector. There we go. All right. Here we go. I think all the connectors are up. And everything is connected to the bottom of the motherboard. So for hopefully the last time, we can put the motherboard down. Now it is weird how it's kind of popping up like that, but I think it's just the stiffness of these cables, to be honest. Okay, let's start with the motherboard screws. And there's 6 of those. Let's try that big one. So then there are these 1, there's 2, and the third one of this group. And then these 2 off in the end. Okay. Finally, let's put on the USB-C connector again for hopefully the last time. If I bent one of these pins, not only would I be screwed, but I would have no idea unless I looked at it under a microscope. Okay, connector is on. I've got my T5, so I need to swap it out for the Torx T3. Let's put this down. I want to put this down already. I guess I'm only waiting on this connector. I'm almost there. Okay, so let's go ahead and put it down. I believe it's these 2 screws right here. I just need to figure out if they're T5 or T3. They are T3. I think it's really just a clip. Oh, there are screws right here that will make it a little bit difficult. I think there's a header somewhere in here. It might be this one. Maybe that one. We'll figure that out in a second. Gotta play nice. Come on. So hard to tell whether this is lined up or not because it has to be so far bent. There it is. Ooh, it really wants to come up. And this is my display on the line, so I cannot mess this one up. Okay, come on. Oh, it really wants to come up. So I'm going to need, I believe it's this one actually. Let's look in the guide. I'm gonna hold down the display connector and I'm gonna open up the guide. All right, still disconnected. There, okay. That's what I'm looking for. Oh, and there's another one here. Right here, there's another board, so I need to get that one as well, or another cover. All right, so it's something like that. We will hold that down with my finger while I screw it in place. I'm guessing it is another T3 1.5, yeah. Another set of small, tiny little screws. Very difficult. Okay, there we go. That's in place. Now let's try and get that other one up top. Okay, let's hope I didn't mangle my display connector in the process. Okay, then this last one right here, I gotta make sure there's a cover on it. Might be to be honest, it might be if I had to guess, face cam? Or the webcam? Probably the webcam. Let's see if it answers me that. It does not. It might be in the screen replacement guide. That cover right there, does that stay? It looks like it stays for them. I don't know why I removed it, to be honest. But I'd venture to guess it's the webcam right there. But this is the right one. It just looks like it uses the same tiny little T3 screws. I think I'm gonna, after this whole endeavor, I'm going to have nightmares of losing these tiny little screws and never being able to find them. I am glad I got a spare screw set because I do not think I had a complete set. I actually don't even know what this is for. I mean, might be somewhere else in here. I just wouldn't know. Finally, let's go ahead and get this on. Wait, is that? Okay. Let's go back to our guide. There's a cover there. There's a cover that goes there. Where is it? There it is. Oh, it's exactly what I was just talking about, of course. And I have a spare one. Thankfully, I have a spare. Let's hop it right here. There that is. That's gonna go right over the top there. Once I can figure out how to get this little connector on. A little bit of bend, please. Oh, please. It's good that they gave it slack. Like, I'm glad they gave these connectors a little bit of slack, but the problem is too little slack and it gets stiff and it doesn't want to go where it needs to go because you kind of have to fold it into place, but it looks pretty in place, thankfully. Oh, by the way, if my Touch ID sensor is out of place, like if it's offset, then I'd need to take this entire assembly off. So let's just hope that when I was first assembling it that I was relatively in place, because I do not want to do this whole thing again. Good news is before we put on the back panel, we will be able to test this to see if it works properly. I've got to figure out how I'm going to get a power cable around. Oh, that's the wrong screw. Every time I drop one, my heart sinks a little bit. Okay, there's 2 of 3. Time for the last third. I thought I was going to be done with this in 30 minutes. I don't know how long I've been going. Maybe around 30. But I'm not done yet. Who knows if the screen will turn on, whether the trackpad will work, whether the keyboard will be attached. I hope the keyboard is all routed in through the trackpad connector here, because I do not remember plugging in a keyboard to the motherboard. All right, there's that. Okay, obviously battery I need to plug in. Display connector, it looks proper bent, but what can you do? Oh, there's an antenna. Wait, is the antenna in? No. Where's the antenna? It's way off over here. Of course it is. Okay. Of course. Okay, whatever. Okay. That's all right. That's all right. You know, here I was thinking I was almost done. I am almost done. I just need to, I think I could actually leave this. I probably just need to take off the display connector. Let's go ahead with that. And then I can, I wonder if the display connector comes up when I do this. it might actually need to stay, or it might be able to stay. So let's, because I don't want to lose the display connector, because that one was hard to put in place. Let's just keep it for a second. Come on. Oh gosh, come on. And anyone who's just recently joined the stream, feel free to chill. This is really just a relaxed stream. I'm not pumping up with a bunch of music or anything like that, but if you're interested in whether I actually complete it or whether this all is for naught and I end up breaking it, then just chill for a little bit longer. Or maybe leave some guesses in the chat whether it's going to work out. Okay, display connector can stay. And then I can route the antenna. Oh, no. Display connector goes over this little thing, I'm pretty sure. There's a little ridge here, so I think it's pretty obvious that the display connector needs to go. Pop that off. Bend that back. I think I can actually screw this down, but before I do, I'll just drop in the antenna. It will slide into there, over the display connector. Play nice with me, please. Oh, okay, there we go. Pop it out a little bit. There we go. Okay. Route that down. Okay, move the display connector out of the way. Slot the antenna in. There we go. Push down a little bit. I will need to connect the antenna up to the motherboard, but let me get that after I get the display first. Okay. And thank you everyone for joining. I'm glad we have a little crew here. All right. There's that. All right. The connector can then fold over. Again, I gotta be careful with these because these are prone to break and bend. Not specifically on Macs, just this connector type. Oh. Let's put down. I'm not putting down a lot of force, by the way. I'm trying to be as delicate as possible, just be a little bit more precise. It's tough because the connector has, or the port has some give to it. So even when I press down, it kind of folds down with me. It's like trying to hammer a nail into a board that's kind of freestanding. I don't know if you guys ever tried to do that. It's tough to put pressure on it because the board just moves with you. I'm really concerned. This is why I only wanted to do this once, and unfortunately I had to do it twice because I didn't have the antenna at the ready. Of course I could have I could have avoided that by following the guide a little bit more to a T, but I guess I was doing multiple different iFixit guides in one go, which is why I did not follow one particular guide. see if I can multitask. I'm still holding the connector down, trying to mount this screw on my screwdriver. Okay, there's that. Two last screws. I think this is about it. I think I've said that a couple times, but I actually feel it this time. Now, just for some context, y'all, this MacBook has not been together since October of 2021. So over like a year and a half now. So if it works, then I will be actually pretty surprised. At least if it works on first boot, I will be incredibly surprised because there's a high likelihood that I forgot some connector or didn't screw something in properly. If it works in general, though, after everything's screwed in, then I will still be pretty surprised. Now, hypothetically, there's no reason why it shouldn't. I mean, all I did was took it apart and dropped it in another chassis, but you never know. Okay. Technically, now, before I do this, technically there is a way for this to work before I plug in the battery. If I plugged in a USB-C docking station over here, then I could connect a monitor up to it, I could power it, I could do everything, but I'm going to connect up the battery just to make sure it's working properly all the way through. I'm going to bring the little battery arm up and behind it. This connector is also very finicky, so it's very important to stay gentle. I think it's in place, and then I can go ahead and pop the little arm down. There we go, it's in place. Okay, y'all. Okay, all right. Oh, wait. Not yet. I was excited, but we still have antenna cables. Let's just get the antenna cables in place to make sure that Wi-Fi works. I was excited. I'm really pumped to see if this works properly. These antenna cables are always so finicky as well. It's kind of funny. When I first built the Latitude MacBook, which if you're interested, please let me know or see the stream description. When I built the Latitude MacBook, these antenna cables were nearly impossible to keep on. I actually lost this little, there's a little protector that goes over them and holds it down to the motherboard. I lost that in the original deconstruction. And I could not find it for basically a year until like October of last year, where I was cleaning up my room, where I had originally deconstructed this, and I stepped on it. And I'm like, oh, and I knew exactly immediately what it was. It just is a little piece of metal, but it ends up keeping these antenna cables on. They are very difficult though. There's one. Let's go ahead and position the second one. Gonna have to bend it a little bit. And this is pretty important because this antenna basically gives the entire laptop Wi-Fi, so cannot go without it. Unless, of course, you've got it connect to a docking station and you want to use Ethernet, which is an option, but not one that I particularly want. Oh, that feels pretty right. Not quite. It's times like these that I do wish I had like tiny hands, because I don't know if I have big hands, but they're big enough. They're bear paws a little bit, so my thumbs are like nearly the size of this motherboard. Okay, let's go ahead and find that connector. I'm pretty sure it's that one right there. I had specifically made sure that I kept track of this T3 screw because I didn't think it was the same as the others, so I screwed it in. Oh, should have seen that coming. Came off one moment. Okay. Let's go ahead and just... Got this for a reason. It seems to want to resist. 1 second. Oh, okay. There we go. All right, that's on. Yep, all right. Okay, so just a quick check. Speakers are in, batteries in. I probably should have not done that after installing the battery. That was dumb. Generally, you don't want the battery plugged in when you're working on things, but there's a very real possibility that these batteries are out of juice. Okay, USB-C port is in. Display connector is in. Touch ID and the audio jack is plugged in. Ooh, okay, this is the nervous part. This is where I get really nervous to see whether it works. Okay, y'all. Here we go. Let me zoom out for you guys. All right. Here we go. Obviously got to be delicate because I'm going to be putting it down, but here we go. Oh, okay. No, I thought that I scratched it up a little bit. Okay. Okay, it did not turn on by itself, but that's okay. It could be out of battery. I really hope it's out of battery because it's not turning on. Okay, that's okay. I kind of expected that. I half expected that. I'm not giving up yet. We will check if I can plug it in. I think this cable will reach. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm gonna, before I lose these screws, whatever those screws are for, they're probably spares. Plug it in, come on. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, the screen is on. It powered on. Okay, we'll obviously have to see whether the Touch ID sensor works, whether the keyboard trackpad work, but oh my gosh, it's powering on. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay. Yep, there I am. Okay, let me go ahead and cover up. I'm sorry, y'all. I just need to. Oh wait, here. I'll just show you guys. Keyboard. I'm just typing in random stuff. Keyboard is properly working. Trackpad is working. Screen brightness control is working. Okay, I'm gonna type in my password. Please hold. Nope. Okay, let me just make sure. There we go. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, it worked. I can't believe it. I honestly can't believe it. On first boot. Okay. Yeah, don't worry about all. That is just carabiner elements to customize keyboard shortcuts. And it looks like my Touch ID sensor. Oh, it's a little loose. Oh, that's kind of frustrating. And that's because I didn't put in the screws all the way. But it does work. Well, the power button works. I don't know why. Let's see. Okay. I know, thank you. Okay. Okay, so maybe I look up Touch ID. I go into preferences, let's see. Touch ID. Add fingerprint. Okay, hold, please hold. Maybe it just, when I disconnected the Touch ID sensor, it removed the fingerprint. Place your finger. There we go. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe it works. I cannot believe it works. Okay, great. Fingerprint can be ready. Okay, now I can, done. I can hit escape, hit lock, Touch ID, lock, lock, Touch ID. Wow, I cannot believe it worked. And I think it needed to be powered to get started because I still have 20% power. So, okay, battery source, battery. Okay, I was worried me for a second. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe this worked. Holy cow. Okay, I mean, it should work, but it's pretty amazing that I didn't manage to break it and all of that. All right, well, only good news. I think that's probably going to leave it off. There's a couple other projects that I'm going to be working on in the next couple weeks, but they are a lot, so I don't want to get started quite yet. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the stream. I know it was pretty casual. We just hung out, repaired a MacBook Air, which somehow managed to work in the end, and I'm so glad that it did. Yeah, now I guess I can. Well, okay, I'm not finished yet. Let's go ahead. Let's shut down. Let's put on the back case to really polish this off. It's working, but let's finish my job. Okay. Here is the case. And I don't really like the way that they have these kind of lock on, but we'll see. I know you have to kind of slide it in, but I can't remember which direction you need to slide it, so I might have to look at the iFixit guide. Okay, I'm going to look at the iFixit guide so I don't damage anything in the process. All right. Pretty sure that every single one of these guides should have this step in the process, so. Torque screws, okay. Wedge your fingers between the display and lowercase and pull upwards. Pulled upwards. Pop off lowercase. So the hooks kind of sit that way. Let's go ahead and try that. Oh, come on. There we go. Okay, there we go. Okay, now I just need to find all the case screws, which I'm sure will go really well. Okay. Okay. P5. So Pentalo 5. This is the only Pentalo 5 screws that I've done today. Let's find it. There it is. Okay. I think these are all of the case screws, but they very well might not be, actually, now that I see them. These aren't Pentalo. Well, no, they might. Yeah, they're not Pentalo. Those are Torx. So it's these screws over here. That's more like it. And there's two 7.9 millimeters and there's two 7.3. I do not know how in the heck I'm going to be able to tell the difference there. This looks like 7.3 to me. 7.3 will go on the outside. This is a full-on This is different. I actually don't know if this is Pentalo. It doesn't look to be. Yeah, it is. But it's not the right one. That looks like those go together, so. Wow, did I? In all this, did I lose just the case screws? Because I'm not seeing a lot of spares here, even though I got the entire batch. All right. That looks like a 7.3. Okay. There's another one. That is a 7.9 for sure. Like I have any sort of real certainty. And again, the reason why I have these screws all out of place is because I did this initial teardown a year and a half ago. And I got replacement screws from eBay that were not organized at all, so. Still my fault. I take full responsibility for it, but. Okay, now let's see if I can find 6 2.6 millimeter screws. I actually venture to guess that's this, yeah. There are these. I actually had grouped most of these together, almost like I knew it was coming. Oh gosh, I hate this because these are the type of screws. What happens is your screwdriver slips and then it just scratches all the way across the chassis. So you gotta make sure to not put down too much pressure when you're putting in screws like in these places. but it's not wanting to go in. Maybe this isn't the right screw. It is pentalobe though. It's pretty clearly pentalobe. Let's try it front. Yeah, okay. Weird. Is that a different screw? Or maybe the oh no. Is there a screw in there already? There are screws in there already. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So that sucks. Okay, that sucks. Okay. That means that when I put down screws for probably the speakers, it was in the wrong place. Here I was thinking I was done. But that's okay. This one will be quick. My upper camera is about to run out of battery, but if that happens, I can either swap out the battery or just do the overhead. So if y'all have a preference, be sure to let me know. Go. Okay. Oh yeah, there should not be screws here. I have no idea why I put in screws on either side here. They do not belong there. Let's put my P5 down. I assume I use T5s here, but could be T3s. What was I doing? I was like, someone yesterday should have been like, what are you doing in OISO? Oh, this one's not. This one's stuck. Hopefully this one's not. They're both stuck. Okay. They're both stuck. Come on. Oh, okay. Looks like it's coming out a little bit. Free, thank gosh. Other one. I should have thought through this because, like, obviously there needs to be chassis screws on the sides of the laptop. Okay, here we go. I just figured, like, okay, I need to make sure the battery is screwed down. The last thing I want is a battery that's kind of rocking inside the chassis. Okay, here we go. Switch back to my P5. Still got a couple folks chilling around. Thanks for joining in, you guys. I hope you've enjoyed this adventure. I know I have. Well, I don't know if I'd be saying the same thing if the laptop was not working. I'm feeling pretty good now. But we'll see if the laptop's still working once I finish pushing it all together. It's kind of incredible, to be honest. Obviously, it's not a big deal. Like, this isn't something that couldn't be done by anyone. I think anyone could be doing this, which is really cool. I think that's notable that Apple doesn't totally make their systems unrepairable, at least their laptops. But I think it's kind of cool that I was able to take it apart in the first place and build a custom laptop from it, and then come back and then put it back together into its original form and generally not lose anything in the process. It's pretty awesome. I'm happy that it worked out this way. There it is. Okay, here we go. Let's check it one more time to make sure it's working properly. Let's look at that. Whew. Oh, did my camera shut off? No, camera's still on. Wow. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna log in. Character long passwords. All right, there we go. We're back. We are back. Okay, on that, I think that's a good place to wrap up. Let me swap the cameras out. Or not. The quality of the camera is just really bad right here. Okay. All right, here we go. Well, thank you guys. Thank you all. Okay, that's fine. Don't allow it. Please just move out. Okay. Thank you all for joining. I really appreciate everyone joining in and hanging out. I think this was an excellent, fun stream. It was a great time, and I'm glad I got to spend it all with y'all. So feel free, get subscribed and keep out an eye on the channel for the next time we're going to be doing this. We'll probably do it weekly or every other week if possible, doing more projects just like this. Hopefully next time it will be a little bit more unique. We'll be throwing some of our own twist into things, but I just wanted to get this MacBook back together, and I'm so glad it finally is. So yeah, be sure to, if you're watching the stream after the fact, let me know down in the comments what you thought of the build, and I will see you in the next one. Catch you guys later.